Hi, good people. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Janet. Today, I'm going to give you a brief history of the lady behind a French fashion house called Chanel. Chanel is one of the best known and most highly sought after fashion brands, and with a revenue of more than $12 billion a year, that shouldn't come as a huge surprise. The massive French fashion house employs more than 28,000 people across the world and have opened over 300 stores. Over the years, their iconic bags have become a fashion statement that signifies opulence, elegance, class, and luxury. But how many of us are aware of the lady behind the brand Chanel? A true visionary, Coco Chanel was ahead of her time and her ideas were conventional to say the least. Though she preferred to offer various fictional versions of her early life, the iconic fashion designer had a rather grim childhood, but although she grew up in severe poverty, she still managed to build a fashion empire that outlived her. Coco was born Gabrielle. After pursuing a short singing career, Coco moved to Deauville, an upscale holiday destination in France's Normandy region. Here she met Etienne Bazon, an ex-military officer and a rich textiler. After she moved in with him, Coco began designing hats, but it wasn't before long that she opened a hat boutique in Paris. It was her very first store, and she called it Chanel Mode. Soon enough, her boutique was favored by the most famous French actresses of the era. They helped to establish her reputation as a designer, and it didn't take long before Chanel styles were to be found all over Paris. After Coco's first store gained popularity, Arthur motivated her to start another shop in Deauville. This was Coco's first boutique. She started out by selling a line of sportswear made of loose jersey. Faithful to her maxim that luxury must be comfortable, otherwise it's not luxury. Coco's design stressed simplicity and comfort. Her approach revolutionized fashion and women's relationship with their bodies, and it was an instant success. Coco's limitless mindset set her apart from the rest of the designers at the time. She was always modern and seized every opportunity, and an important entrepreneurial lesson we can learn from her is to find a niche in an existing market where unsolved problems exist. Coco had the ability of spotting a problem and then setting out to solve it. She wanted to create a relatable product that resonated with the wants and desires of women like herself. Around this time, Coco also adopted her almost short haircut. It quickly became a massive trend, and Coco got covered in various news articles, and other media platforms. Soon enough, thousands of women were idolizing her, not only her fashion, but also her daring personality. Coco has always said in order to be irreplaceable, one has to be always different. In 1921, Coco unveiled her first fragrance, Chanel No. 5. The perfume was created by Ernest Beau, one of the most talented perfume creators in France. To create the fragrance, Coco entered a deal with her business associate, Pierre. Over the years, Coco had developed a close friendship with Pierre, and the idea was that his factory would produce the aromas. However, the contract only left Chanel with 10% of the profits and a hefty 70% going to Pierre and 20% to the apartment store owner. It was an agreement Coco would soon regret. Chanel No. 5 was a combination of jasmine and several floral scents. This made the perfume more complex and mysterious than the single scented perfumes that were on the market at the time. Chanel was the first major fashion designer to introduce a perfume, and then she replaced the typical packaging with a simple sleek bottle, which also added to the scent's success. Soon enough, the phenomenally successful fragrance became the financial basis of Chanel's entire empire. With the perfume being a massive source of revenue, she repeatedly sued to have the terms renegotiated. Even though Coco was never able to renegotiate the terms of her contract to increase her royalties, the fragrance nevertheless made her a considerable profit. By the late 1920s, the Chanel fashion house was reportedly worth millions and employed more than 2,000 people, not only in Coco's couture house, but also in the perfume laboratory, the textile mill, and jewelry workshop. In 1935, she then employed 4,000 people. By the time World War II began, Coco had been a public figure for several decades already. She reappeared in 1954 and continued doing well in the fashion industry. Coco Chanel passed away in 1971. After her death, Chanel's couture house was led by a series of designers. A German designer named Karl led Chanel for the longest time. He has tried to modernize Chanel designs. The ones who took over are Pierre grandsons, Elaine and Gerald Wertheimer. Alain is the president of Chanel, while Gerald heads the watch division. This was the story of Coco Chanel, a lady, how she rose from the dying poverty to a pinnacle of society. I hope you found this video informative. If you did, remember to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks a lot for joining me. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Let's meet in the next video. Bye bye.